Can I just have a small portion of this discussion, Your Worship?
As long as you want to, because I have moved it to a workshop.
Well,
I'm not going to make a decision today, but I'll allow that.
I'd prefer to make a decision today, and I'd like to move option D. I think it's fair. I think okay. I can understand about trying to save some more. There's 10 councillors sitting around this room, so that's 10 running sheets. We've been told that some of them don't even claim, so perhaps that's only 8 running sheets that the staff have got to do and code. I don't think that's a huge job. I don't think it's a big expense. I think option D gives every councillor the opportunity to be reimbursed for the mileage or the use of their vehicle to attend council meetings. I think that's the fairest way of dealing with it. So I'd like to move option D, and let's get on with business.
I'd like to second that.
Okay, I've got a motion on the floor, and I will allow that motion on the floor, which virtually says that it's virtually the status quo, what we've had for the last 3 idioms, that to come from Rifle Range Road to the council building for a council meeting, a council workshop, or a convened site visit, that you are paid 70 cents a K. That's the motion that's on the floor. It's been moved by Councillor Hickling. It's been seconded by Councillor Henderson. And I can allow anyone to talk for the motion. No, I can allow anybody to talk against the motion. The last person to speak should be the mover to speak for the motion. Does anyone want to speak against that motion? Councillor Williams.
I'd just like to say I'm totally against it, and as you pointed out, Your Worship, no other employee gets paid to go to work. However, consideration should be given to our more further members, and I cannot support that motion.
That's why I was hoping to move it to a workshop to find a more equitable way forward, but we have a motion on the floor, and that's the way we have to address it. So anyone want to speak against the motion at the moment, put your hand up, then it goes to people who want to speak for the motion, then it goes to a vote, unless the people who moved it would agree to withdraw to a workshop. But next person, Councillor Downer, does it? No. Councillor Johnson?
I'm with Councillor Williams. I'd rather have a lump sum, save the paperwork, and have consideration maybe that if we go further afield that there is the allowance can kick in, but I want to simplify things, and I don't have time at the end of the month to pull out my receipts.
Speaking against the motion, are you?
Yes, absolutely. I stood for council because I wanted to be a councillor, and I don't expect to be paid to go from Arrowsmith Ave, return and collect money for that. If I travel out of the ward where I was elected, I'd expect some reimbursement, but yeah, definitely not from home to here. I put myself forward, and I'm here, and very happy to be here, and very happy to keep myself here.
You would support out-of-towners coming in, though, from Mangakino?
Oh, absolutely. Just as, and like perhaps it is like status quo, but there'd be like a radius of so many kilometres from the district council building. I don't know, so that the likes of Councillor Crater are catered for.
Okay. Speaking against the motion.
Not against and not for, but can I just say something?
Okay. Middle ground.
Yeah, I feel for both. I feel as though I would like a workshop, because I'd like to see the figures for the last 3 years and just seeing how much it did cost the councillors from Mangakino and Turangi over those 3 years travel fund, and then we've got something to compare what the officers have come with in here. I do feel, as I said before, for the other councils that do run their cars locally in and out, and we're not just talking about council meetings, it might be, and I've never claimed for sports advisory or citizens advice or the many other committees that a council thing. I think there's people in here that are on a certain amount of money, and this, you might say that no other one pays their way to get to their job. This isn't a highly paid job when you look at all the other things that you get involved with. So I'm just coming from that. I think a workshop would be good to outlay all those things and those concerns and find out exactly where we are.
Okay, anybody else want to speak against the motion? It doesn't mean you don't agree with it, but and then it would go to a workshop, or perhaps the mover and the seconder may want it. They can still withdraw and take it to a workshop if they wish. You want to speak for or against, Councillor Kevin? Okay, we've got to finish with the against first. No more people want to speak against the motion? For the motion?
I'm just going to say that this option D just allows you to make the claim. It doesn't mean you have to make the claim, as in the past. And if you wanted to give it away, make the claim and give it away, that's entirely up to you. I just see that this is the fairest way, and there are so Ms. Gilbert said that the fairest way isn't the cheapest way. But, is this about fairness or about cheapness or whatever?
Yeah, for the motion, just a few points. One is the reason I support it is because it's standard business practice. The second thing is I think there's a misperception here that people up this end may just be claiming to go to work. I think that is not necessarily just accurate, because obviously there's a lot of work involved in being a councillor rather than just turning up to the meetings at work. So, and as Gary points out, people can choose to claim or not for that. And the third one is I'm not sure about how this can be so much cheaper or more efficient with ratepayer money if you've got one option where you've got 3 or 4 councillors working on one scheme and claiming for mileage versus 10. So I'm not sure what the efficiency argument there is, and that's all we really had to say about it.
Well, I'm in favour of workshopping it. So I would have to say that I would vote against it when I put it to the vote. Not that I'm against people getting paid. I'd just like to see it workshopped, because I don't think this is quite clear enough at this stage. So that's why I suggested to take it to a workshop at 3 o'clock. So no more talking on the issue. We have the motion on the floor. Does the mover wish to remove the motion?
No, Your Worship. I'm prepared to put it to the vote.
Fine. So the motion is was moved by Councillor Hickling, is option D, which you've all got in front of you there, and it was seconded by Councillor Henderson, I believe. Yeah, it's just been pointed out to me by Gareth here, if you put this to the vote now, and even if the vote is lost, the status quo stays for the next 3 years.
No. If you put it now, and then you vote against it with the intention of workshopping it, that option's off the table, essentially, because you've voted and it's been lost. You can't bring that issue back up again.
So then you wouldn't be able to workshop this and go back to this.
You wouldn't be able to bring option D. You'd be able to pick one of the other 3 options or another option, but you wouldn't be able to pick option D because you've decided against it.
You can.
Fine. No discussion.
Are we able to put a counter motion to that motion that we workshop it?
No, not until this motion is. If the mover agrees to the amendment, yeah.
You could also leave it lying upon.
You could put an amended motion, which then takes the vote before the original motion. So an amended motion can be put forward, providing it's seconded.
Or you can leave it on the table.
Oh, look.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Which hand's the pen?
You got some pretty major decisions to make in the next 3 years, I can assure you, with what we've built up with land sales and all sorts of things going forward and economic growth in this town. And quite frankly, I'm going to put it to the vote. If the vote's lost, it's lost. If it's won, it's won. And so be it. You realise that if it's lost and you go to a workshop, you cannot come back to option D. That's what staff management are telling you under the Local Government Act, under your Meetings Procedures Act. You can accept or the mover could accept an amendment if he wanted to, and I would allow Councillor Williams to offer the amendment to the mover for
It's an amended motion, it's a different thing. It's not asking Barry to amend his motion, it's actually putting another motion forward that gets voted on before Barry's gets voted on.
So, okay, two ways you can do it.
Oh, would you like me to put the motion forward?
If you have a motion,
Well, I move that we take this item to a workshop.
does that motion have a seconder?
I second it.
Where'd that come from? So that's been seconded by Councillor Mincher. So we have two motions on the floor. So sorry? You do? Okay. So I'll take the amended motion first. We were supposed to break at 3 o'clock. It's nearly 15:15, so I don't think we need to talk too much about the amended motion. I'll go straight to putting the amended motion to the vote. All those in favour? Oh, hands please. Motion is carried. So now what? Cool. Right, thank you. Now we'll break as we were going to at 3 o'clock. If we could.
The other one.
Oh, those against? Well, okay. What did that prove? Because we had 8-4. Okay, we're going to workshop it. Let's be sensible about it because none of us are 100% sure in our minds. Okay, so we're going to break now.